The History Man with Terry Kringle.
Hello. People rarely spare the ruins of St Trinian's Church a glance as they speed past along the main road between Douglas and Peel. But the ruins are up there in Rock Farm Meadow on the lower slopes of Greeba Mountain. It's only a short walk to get there, and it's well worthwhile in the light of what follows today. St Trinian's Church was built in the 12th century, renovated in the 14th century, and some time after this it fell into its present state. The story behind this being that the Buggane, a violent mythical Manx ogre, if ever there was one, tore the roof off one day for reasons of his own, and every time people put on another one, he tore that off as well, with a great stamping and snarling and roaring. Then, we are told, he issued a challenge. If there was a man, a tailor, who had the courage to defy his wrath, and sit long enough in the church to make a pair of trousers, he would allow the church to be roofed. Well, some men tried, but not one succeeded, and so to this day St Trinian's has no roof and services tend not to be held there. But there was one held on September the 9th, 1910, with the bishop preaching and the lieutenant governor reading the lessons, and a full congregation in attendance. It was that industrious Manx historian Hampton Creer who put me onto this story, which was in the Ramsey Courier. This tells us that the Lord Bishop of the time was the Right Reverend Thomas Wortley Drury, the first Manxman for centuries to be appointed to the office, and it was his idea that the service should be held in defiance of the Buggane, and he asked the Governor, Lord Raglan, to read the lessons. The Courier goes on to tell the story with a kind of respectful waggishness, saying, "Whether it was from a hidden sense of fear or not, the bishop got the powers that be on his side by enlisting the services of Lord Raglan, and, we believe, his lordship refused to undertake the duty unless Lady Raglan accompanied him, which she did. The service was held, and whether it was that the Buggane was awed by the combination of divinity, civil and military power, none of the large congregation which were attracted got even a squint of him, and the service was brought to a conclusion without the terrific explosion which resulted when the Buggane took his head off and threw it at the tailors who doubted his powers." Finally we read, "The building was far too small to contain all the would-be worshippers, and some had to be content with crowding round the door and open windows. The bishop preached an eloquent sermon in which he referred to the place and its traditions, and the courage of the assembly was kept up by the music of the parish brass band under the direction of Mr. J. Kane Baldwin." Well, that's it. As far as I know, this could well have been the very last service to be held at St Trinian's Church. Incidentally, Hampton Creer told me that the real reason for the building's failure to support a roof when it was built is that its foundations are in soft and yielding ground, and this makes the walls flex or bend under weight. Now this sounds like a lot of far-fetched nonsense to me. I prefer to think it was the Buggane that did it. I'm on his side.